The year is 2257. On the lunar mining colony, an alarm resonates to alert from the meteor shower that is about to take place, announcing a lockdown will be initiated. A group of teenagers are trying to hijack a vehicle from a hangar while making sure to not be found by the adults. After fiddling with the vehicle, Dylan sets off an alarm and they all panic. Caleb has a flashback where we learn how after the death of his father in a mining accident, the boy will be sent to a planet called Omega, as mentioned in his work contract. We learn that Caleb's mother also died 7 years ago. The journey to Omega takes 75 years, where the boy will be put into cryosleep to not age a bit. Caleb refuses to go and wants to stay with his friends on the moon. The woman refuses and reminds him of how lucky he is, saying that families escape Earth and come to the moon working their whole life so that their families can get a chance to go to Omega. We then see Caleb climbing a ladder, something he used to do with his father, and go to a platform where they can watch the star. There his father shows him a map of a secret location in a crater where he and his mother used to sneak to, saying he will take him there on a road trip once he is older. The boy, unlike his dad, doesn't even understand the concept of a road trip. Caleb is joined by Dylan and the others, and he tells them about the news of him leaving in 3 days. Back in their room, the boys were preparing to go visit the crater when someone knocked on the door. Caleb is then handed his father's ashes. Later in the cafeteria, Caleb is worried about Marcus, who has a heart condition, but Borney says he will be fine if he just takes his pills. The boys wonder how they will get the codes to the garage, and Dylan wants to get them from Addison, who is the daughter of one of the scientists, saying her father has all the codes. The girl who just arrived from Earth has no friends and is thought to be a weirdo. Dylan shoots his shot, but the girl avoids him, saying anyone who approaches her needs something from her. The boy then comes clean about how his best friend will leave forever and they need to go see his special place. Girl accepts with the condition that she accompanies them. The boys accept, and then we are pulled back to the present events. Everyone is still panicking, and Caleb tears off a wire and the alarm stops. Another alert resonates, announcing the lockdown in 10 minutes. The boys hurry into the vehicle, and Dylan drives it along the tunnel to reach the main exit. Dylan then asks Madison to go enter the code in the panel, but she refuses, worried that they would leave her behind. Caleb decides to go, and the girl decorates the panel with an astronaut figurine, saying it was a nerd tradition before going on road trips. Caleb enters the codes, opening the door for them, and they drive until they are out of the colony. The boys are hyped since it was their first time outside. They begin driving following the map provided by Caleb. On their way, they see the launching platform to planet Omega and soon pass by a huge structure that was supposed to be the first moon city but was abandoned after human discovered planet Omega. On the road, Addison tells them about Earth, its nature and blue sky, and wonders how they didn't learn about it in school. The boys then tell her that all they learn here is how to mine things. She then learns how most of them are products of generations of lunar miner families and wonders how it's possible since the contract is only 20 years. The girl then is told the dark truth about how they keep adding extra years for random things to keep them working their whole life, saying it was a big scam. Addison asks what's inside the crater, and Caleb says that he doesn't know, but his parents wanted him to see it. Bornley thinks it has to be a treasure. Soon it was time to have some fun. They all suit up and head outside, where they start jumping around in the weak gravity and behold the distant Earth. Addison teaches them how to play baseball. Later the girl sits down watching the Earth and starts crying. Meanwhile the boys take turns strapping themselves to the vehicle, then using the oxygen bottles to launch themselves as high as possible. On Borney's turn, the wire snaps and he drifts away. The boys quickly all launches themselves to get to him and manages to bring him down to the surface. Addison says they should go back since they used up most of their oxygen reserve. Caleb says they can get more. They use a hologram map to find an old outpost where they could find more oxygen. They immediately were on their way, but Bornley warns them that he was told by his older brother that the place has space ghosts in it. Dylan has enough of his worrying all the time and calls his brother a loser after Bornley calls called Dylan's father a coward. They start fighting and Caleb intervenes, saying it's not how he wants to spend his last day with them. The two then calm down and reconcile with each other. They soon reach the outpost and go inside. There they freak out when see human silhouettes that turn out to be mannequins. Apparently the place used to be a model home for people who want to come to live on the moon. Dylan opens up to Addison and tells her how his dad, after inheriting 6 more years of work, decides to sneak on a shuttle leaving to Earth. Seeing the girl sad, the boy gets mad, saying that he doesn't need her pity. The girl gets angry and tells him how he wasn't the only one with problems. Caleb has a memory of his father, telling him how after his mother died, he will not be able to send him to Omega by the time he is 18, when he will be assigned 20 years himself. The boys then go on to discover a huge amount of food and have a feast. At night, the girl tells them more about Earth's history and how she is sad that people now only think about going to Omega. They learn that the girl has a little brother who, after their parents divorced a year ago, was taken by her mother and are on their way now to Omega. The boys then take out their anger against humanity on the furnitures as they go around breaking everything. At night, Caleb tells Addison how he met Dylan, saying how he will be the most impacted by him leaving for Omega. The next day they were back on the road, but soon they had a malfunction and the vehicle stopped a mile away from their destination. Since they were almost out of oxygen, Addison activates the distress signal. Then they all head out to the crater on foot. As they run to the crater, Caleb has another memory of his father telling him to go to the crater even if something happens to him, since he promised his wife to take him there. The boy finally reach the crater, where they find a strange illuminated cube that seems to be human-made. They find a door that leads them to a circular room with a tree in the center. Addison knows this kind of structures and helps them find a secret button that activates a hologram that shows them a scene on Earth. The boys are dazzled by the nature in the blue sky that they see for the first time in their life. The hologram then stops and Caleb finds a secret spot where the boy finds a picture of his parents in his mother's ashes. The boy put both his parents' ashes inside and takes the picture. Caleb then tells his friends that his father's death was not an accident, but was his dad's last resort to send him to Omega. He says that he will reveal the truth so that he will stay with them. Dylan refuses, saying his dad sacrificed himself and they too want him to go, saying it will free a part of them. While they keep talking, Marcus suddenly faints. The boy had left his pills on the vehicle, so they all hurry back. After climbing the crater, they are caught in the meteor shower. They run fast toward the vehicle, but Addison trips and falls. She hides behind a rock. Caleb and Dylan go to help her, and the latter is hit by a meteorite. On the vehicle, Barney gives Marcus his pills, but a meteorite shatters one of the windows, draining all the oxygen inside. Caleb glues Dylan's helmet, and they take him back to the vehicle. They all lose hope of getting help since the lockdown was in effect, and they sit down waiting for the oxygen to run out. Dylan wakes up and tells his friend that seeing Earth's blue sky was worth everything. They all lose consciousness, and soon help arrives. Caleb wakes up on a bed, and he is told that he just had a 75-year-long trip and is now on Omega. The boy is shocked, and he said he didn't say goodbye to his friends. The boy is given a recording made by them that starts from the first year he left the moon, while he slept for 75 years. His friends had grown. Addison apparently had fought to change the working policies on the moon and pushed to restart building the moon colonies with Barney's help. Marcus had started a baseball league, and Dylan, who proposed to Addison, is now married to her and they are having a baby. Dylan, who is now an old man with grandkids, reminisce on their adventure and its impact on their lives. The recording ends with Dylan telling Caleb to go on and live his life. The boy then meets with Allison's little brother and gives him her astronaut figurine. Caleb goes on telling the little boy stories about their adventures that for him was still as recent as yesterday. And that was the end. What do you think about this movie? Leave a comment and like the video for more. And with that, see you guys next time. Bye bye.